A long time ago, my friend Azam asked me, "Hey Sean, we should book off that boardroom at that cool office you have. We need to go over this project we've been working on." At the time, I was set up at a different co-share office in Calgary. It had great boardrooms, plenty of good coffee options, guest passes, etc. Unfortunately for Azam and I, all of these awesome amenities came with an extra cost. At that particular time, my resources were tapped. So we had to make do with meeting at a coffee shop a block away. And no, we did not finish that particular project. Not ideal. Many of us have been in this situation before, or in situations similar. To have had memberships or offices in a co-working spot or business center, where everything you may need is locked behind a paywall or a credit system. Sure, you pay for what you use, but every single use of anything that is available comes with the added benefit of its own micro decision point. If you are like me and have massive executive dysfunction paired with ADHD, you really understand. Making many important decisions every day shouldn't be weighed down with even more about whether to use things you should just have access to. Even worse, that you have to pay extra for. Nearly a year after this experience, though, I found Work Nicer and was amazed. Sure, there were good people, fast Wi-Fi, a spot that worked for my business, but the difference was that Work Nicer really flipped the script. Where nearly every other co-working spot or business center found a way to monetize these things, Work Nicer instead saw those little toll booths, the boardroom tokens, the coffee punch cards, the "sorry, you're out of credits" conversations, and said, "Nah mate, it's included, as much or as little as you need." Fast forward to today and going into my 9th year as a proud member of this community, I am happy to say that that mantra has not changed. Here, everything you see you can use. Boardrooms? Book 'em. Coffee? Pour it, chug it, or mainline it, responsibly. Guests? Bring them in, let them feel the vibe. Phone booths, draft beverages, couches that practically beg for brainstorming sessions, it's all included. Because to be fair, the last thing any of us needs is one more micro decision about whether we can afford to meet in a proper room instead of whisper shouting over the roar of a cappuccino machine. Here, you just get to do the thing you came here to do without the constant second guessing, without any bullshit. How does Work Nicer do it? By keeping it simple. Everything is unlimited: boardrooms, coffee, guests, phone booths, the works. But it is not meant to be a free-for-all. It runs on one simple rule that we all can get behind. Be reasonable and respectful with your usage. Reasonableness is about using what you need without stretching it past common sense. Respectfulness is about remembering that we are in this together. That there are hundreds of other members here who need the same things. It means wrapping up your meeting when your booking ends, not turning the drinks on tap into your personal Friday night supply, and making sure your visitors feel welcome without turning them into unofficial members in the process. At its core, being reasonable and respectful is about balance. You get everything you need, but you also make sure others can do the same. When everyone shows up with that mindset, unlimited really can stay unlimited. That's it. That's the whole thing. So, wait, everything's unlimited? Yep. Meeting rooms, phone booths, coffee, guests, even the drinks on tap. All included. No tally sheets. No punch cards. No awkward conversations about going over your quota. It sounds wild, right? Like handing out Costco samples with no supervision and hoping for the best. But here's the twist. Over the 10 years Work Nicer has been doing this, it actually works. Why? Because this community is full of adults who, once they saw it, really got it. Really, what does reasonable and respectful look like? It gets tossed around a lot. Reasonable and respectful, but it's definitely a bit of an abstract philosophy, that is, until you see it in action. The fact of the matter is, it is not about rules like things taped to a wall. I say all the time that community is more than words on a wall. It works the same with reasonableness and respectfulness. It is about that common courtesy that keeps everyone thriving. Think of it as the unwritten agreement between hundreds of adults sharing the same home base to all get shit done. So let's break it down. Here are a few everyday situations where reasonableness and respectfulness show up. None of this is rocket science, but it is worth spelling out so that unlimited usage can actually feel unlimited for everyone. Meeting rooms. They're here for your big moments. Pitch your client, close that deal, brainstorm the next new product or service that will increase your revenue. But let's not use them every hour of every day you are at an outpost. If it feels like you've moved into the boardroom and the Amazon delivery person knows that's where you'll be, we'll need to talk. Try to keep your bookings impactful and only when necessary. From time to time, it's perfectly reasonable to book a room for multiple hours. Just try not to do it every day. A good metric to consider for reasonableness and respectfulness is to try and keep boardroom usage counter an hour per day on average. Some months you might be more, some less. Guests. Bring them in, show them around, let them experience the vibe. This is your office too, and everyone in the community wants you to have your guests feel warm and welcomed. But let's not have the same guest coming in multiple times per week. If it seems your guest now has a favorite chair and workstation, then they're not a guest anymore. They are a member of the community. Let's make it official and give them the welcome they deserve and add them to your team. As a rule of thumb, if the same guest is coming in more than once or twice per month, then let's be fair to everyone here and get them officially into the community. Use your discretion, of course. If you have someone in from out of town for 1 week only, having them as a guest seems perfectly reasonable. Noise, quick calls in common areas? Totally fine. A short video call with your headphones on? Cool. But you really shouldn't record an entire episode of your new podcast from open work areas. Maybe don't jump on a speakerphone call with your mother about how Aunt Kathy is tearing this family apart. We're sorry for you, but that's why we built phone booths, and like everything else, it's free and unlimited, with reasonableness and respectfulness. Noise levels can be quite subjective, so a reasonable thing to do is ask yourself if your call or chat might be a distraction for your fellow members around you. If so, that's a good sign it's time to use a phone booth. Why this matters? Yes, there are standards we all agree to when joining this community. And yes, they can read very black and white, as many contracts and agreements are. Shout out to all my lawyer friends out there. And yes, there are some standards that Work Nicer does not mess around with. Things like zero tolerance for harassment, discrimination, stealing, or generally being a jerk face. That said, Work Nicer isn't just desks and Wi-Fi. It's a whole community of people trying to do big things without the distraction of, did I really have to pay for that extra coffee? Or, am I over my meeting room limit? Unlimited only works because members like you don't abuse it. It works because y'all get the bigger picture. If you keep it reasonable and keep it respectful, then everyone gets what they want, what they need, and can be super productive. So go ahead, use all of the things. Go on, use them. Book the rooms. Drink the coffee. Pour the drafts. Invite your guests in. Work Nicer works best when we all are actively participating in it. And that goes for all of the amenities too. Just remember though, unlimited doesn't necessarily mean bottomless. It means more than enough for everyone, just so long as no one goes in full goblin mode. At the end of the day, Work Nicer works when we all work nicer. No one succeeds alone.